don't have any hope. You don't have anything else. We are really not surviving.
Dr. Martin Luther King, the apostle of nonviolence in the civil rights movement, has been shot.
The investigation into the high school massacre is slow-moving and dangerous.
And Seek TV, I'm about to get ready to do a very, very deep breakdown. And what I want to talk about too is basically what I want to really tap into is about this whole situation with Meghan Markle. And as you see, they had the image come out. It's a man named Charlie Hebdo. I'm sorry. And all basically this was basically like imitating the whole George Floyd situation that happened last year, May 25th, 2020. And they basically released this image, when was it, March 9th, like the day of George Floyd's trial or whatever. But I'm about to delve real deep into this, y'all, and I want y'all to pay attention and hear me out, because I'm gonna actually play some clips from the whole aspect of the talk and the whole ruckus that they're trying to rally up, the race war, and just the liberal aspect that they're pushing, that they're trying to push across everything, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the clip and I'm going to chime on in. I'm going to delve deeper into what that image is really about in a moment. But just pay attention to this.
The exact words of racism, it's the implication and the reaction to it, to not want to address that because she is a black woman and to try to dismiss it or to make it seem less than what it is. That's what makes it racist. But right now, I'm talking to a woman who I believe is my friend. And I don't want anybody here to watch this and say that we're attacking you for being racist. And for that, if I articulated
I think it's
anything,
too late. I think that seed's already sown.
But that is why I'm saying for me. I'm saying for me. For me. I thought I was...
I just look at that whole aspect of what they're pushing. They're pushing that whole race war. You know what I mean? That's their whole objective, is to push the whole aspect of making everything to divide the black and white and to make everyone liberal. You get what I'm saying? To basically that's their whole objective, is to basically make everyone become reformed and renewed in this new world order. You know what I'm saying? This is why they use racism. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap into what this is about. Because on a deep level, y'all, when you understand the whole aspect of the neck, the foot on the neck, when you understand Genesis 3, the foot on the neck represents nothing but defeating like the whole aspect they're trying to say basically is like when the serpent had got defeated and would get his head crushed. They're trying to play that role and say that they would have their foot on the Messiah's neck. Hence the whole aspect of the work, the head, you know, how the Messiah is the head. You know what I'm saying? The man like is the head aspect. Notice why they got the foot on the neck, because that was basically representing like the skull and bones. You know, like I had broke this down on my video and I was talking about the biggest lies they ever told. You gotta check that out. But I was mentioning why skull and bones get that name is because that represents the aspect of crucifying the Messiah in the land of Golgotha, aka the land of the skull. So this right here is deep, because notice how Meghan, her name, the name Meghan anyway don't mean nothing but pearly gates, basically the pearls. And when you understand that, I automatically thought of Revelation 21:21, you know, about heaven being with the pearly gates, the 12 pearly gates. You know what I'm saying? So that's like them basically saying that they got their foot on the neck of the Most High, where their kingdom will reign, and that their kingdom won't be basically replaced with the heavenly kingdom. But I'm about to tap deep into this because I want to tap into the George Floyd rabbit hole right quick, and I'm going to go deeper than that as well. And I want y'all to pay attention to this, because what's so deep about it is when you remember, it was a fight back 1965. It was George Chavallo and Floyd Patterson. This is February 1st, 1965. George Floyd happened May 25th, 2020. But they had the Floyd versus George, and notice that it's a black man and a white man. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at the days between those dates, like the years, like the days between February 1st when the fight happened in 1965 and between May 25th, 2020, it's literally 2020. You see that? That's some deep stuff. And I'm actually going to play the clip and I'm going to chime in because they called this the fight of the year. And we know George Floyd and Derek Chauvin basically was the biggest situation last year. Look at this. Let me get right to the meat of it. And it was at Madison Square Garden, y'all. And when I was just breaking that down about how Madison Square Garden basically represents nothing but the Garden of Eden in their world. You know what I mean? That's all it represents is the Garden of Eden. But I'm going to keep this thing rolling right quick, y'all. Pay attention to this. This is an old space movie, and I'm going to show something right quick because it's an old space movie that came out a little while back. And they was doing a whole aspect of the I Can't Breathe. And put your mask back on. Pay attention to this. That's what happened last year. I Can't Breathe. And remember about the mask. And you got to check out my time video that I just did too. And I was explaining what the mask really was for.
Put your mask back on. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was talking about how the mask was basically used like during the time of us going through the great, how they're messing with the time. You know what I mean? And basically, like in a hyperbolic time chamber, the air is more dense, so it's harder to breathe. And when you understand the aspect of like how planes represent nothing but the dimension, like the astral plane, mental plane, physical plane, and like how in a plane, when you're in a flight and you're in an emergency, you put on the mask so you better breathe oxygen. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you see I was talking about us wearing a mask. But I'm about to take it even deeper than that right quick. Pay attention to after that. This is what happened on the B movie in 2007. When they were going to collect their honey back from the people.
And la-di-da human tea time snack garnishments.
I can't breathe.
You know what I'm saying? I remember last year how small businesses suffered anyway. And they was already predicting that then, you know. Let's get right to the meat of it. Notice how she said the store is closed, no more flowers. You know what I'm saying? But as you look at that, this stuff is deep, man, because I'm about to take y'all deeper down a rabbit hole. You know what I mean? Because the whole aspect of them doing that, because they're letting you know with the pearly gates and how George Floyd went through that last year, that was all letting you know that the Messiah is near. It was all the symbolism telling you that they're basically going to try to suppress him from taking back the mantle. But pay attention to this. This is why George Floyd, you already know he had a porn video, and a girl that he was in the porn video with name was Kimberly, and Kimberly don't mean nothing but the wood of the royal forest. You know what I mean? And we already know about the Messiah with the wilderness. Hint the wood of the royal forest. Who's that talking about? As it's written, you already know Israel is like the two olive branches that connects back together, man. All of this stuff was not by mistake. You know what I mean? As it's written, the trees, the carpenter, you know what I mean? With the Messiah aspect, with the axe. And when you understand that anyway, that represents the wood representing nothing but the wood of the trees. You know what I'm saying? Of the righteous trees. As it's written, ye are living trees that bear fruit. You know what I mean? Judge a tree by the fruit it bears. But pay attention to this.
Oh, shit, let's see who this is.
That's why he called himself the landlord.
What's up?
Landlord, man. Oh, man. What's up?
What's your name, bro?
Man, Big Floyd. Floyd the landlord, man.
Floyd the landlord.
Right on, man.
What you ready? New video.
Pay attention to that. You know what I'm saying? The landlord. Mean anyway is farmer, and Floyd don't mean nothing but the gray hair. And as it's written, the Messiah is going to be is elder, man. Gray hair, wise. You know what I'm saying? Like wool, hair like wool. That's why they had that situation happen last year, and that's why this right here had to happen on March 9th with the time of him with the trial. You know what I'm saying? Like, this stuff is deep. And then notice how the queen have her hands clutched like that, because that represents nothing but the Masonic aspect, forming a Masonic pyramid. You don't see how her fingers are forming a Masonic pyramid? So, like, come on, man. This stuff is deep. You know what I'm saying? When you understand the porn star aspect, too, you already know the Messiah with his bride. the new city, the new Jerusalem coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. We are as the children of the Most High. Do you get where I'm going? That's why they had this aspect, because they basically saying they got their neck on the kingdom. The kingdom would not take their place, is what they was trying to say. That's why this whole thing had to happen. And when you know about it too, George Floyd played football, and he wore number 88, and he played for, is it Yates in Texas. And I'm gonna delve deep into that right quick. The 88 anyway represents nothing but like the whole aspect, because you already know the number 8 represents infinity, and when you double it up as 88, it represents the eternity of the Messiah. And the school Yates literally is nothing, meaning nothing but the dweller by a gate. You know what I'm saying? The gatekeeper. Hint that whole aspect of the pearly gates, man. You know what I'm saying? And the name Yate anyway is nothing but the lion. And we already know about the whole aspect of the Lion of Judah. You know what I'm saying? And then when you know about the Y anyway, the Y is like the triangle, as above as below, but it's like the triangle that's descending down to earth from heaven. That's all it really represents. You know what I mean? Like literally represents life and eternity, or like basically like the level of the high spirituality coming and manifesting unto the earth. Hence why they have the why it's called Jack Yates. Jack is short for Jacob, the 12 tribes of Jacob. You know what I'm saying? 12 tribes of Israel. And then Yates, like I said, don't mean nothing but the gatekeeper, and hence the lion. And that's why he played for the school and he wore number 88, because they was letting you know that the Messiah was near. You get what I'm saying? And I'm about to take it even deeper, y'all, because what I want to do right quick is take y'all to the Texas aspect, because Texas is literally called the Lone Star State. And that's why I already did a video too. You got to check it out about me when I was talking about the aspect of the time. Go check out my time video when I said we are lost in time. I'm gonna put the link in the description below. But basically, the Texas aspect, which is so deep, is because Texas is literally the Lone Star State, and as it's written, the Messiah is as the Lone Star. He's the bright shining star. You know what I mean? The Most High. You feel what I'm saying? Lone Star. There's none beside me other than me. There's no God beside me. Put no God before me. The Lone Star. And then you already know how he was from Houston. And then when you look at Corpus Christi, I don't think Corpus Christi is too far from Houston, if I'm not mistaken. But when you know about that anyway, Corpus Christi literally means body of Christ. Come on, man, the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? I want to just really get deep into this on y'all right quick. You know, because I'm about to show y'all something else too. And I'm really not going to play it too long, because you already know about the copyright aspect. But I'm going to play this right quick. Chris Rock, if you look at his shirt, hold on. Notice Chris Rock got that little mark on his shirt. And all that represents is like, it's like a devil, like a Baphomet. You know what I'm saying? And his name is Chris Rock, a.k.a. Christ Rock. The Rock, a.k.a. the Messiah is as the Rock. That's why Busta Rhymes put him on his Czar video. You know what I mean? And he was talking about, do you know who this man is?
Do you understand who this man is?
Look at how Busta Rhymes is throwing up the Masonic pyramid, and he's dressed up in all white, because what he's calling himself the Czar, because what that represent is basically nothing but him supplanting the king. You know, represent him supplanting the Messiah. You know what I mean? That's why that album came out in 2020. It came out last year, like right before the election, because it came out like 2 weeks before election. Because what it's basically saying is, when he did this, the Czar represents the aspect of the Obama. Remember when I was talking about Revelation 13, the beast out the seas? I'm going to show that in a minute. But how basically Obama was basically giving power to Biden to basically take over the White House. And what is Biden doing? Like the beast of the sea, the beast will literally basically make everything one world order, make everything become mixed and multicultural. What is Biden doing right now? Transgenderism, all of these things. But I'm actually going to push it, because I'm going to play the clip and I'm going to chime in, but just pay attention to that.
Do you understand how hard he brings it?
You see how he said, do y'all understand how hard he brings it? Like, look at this. Throwing up, he called himself the Czar. Look how they dancing for him. You know what I'm saying? And look how he got the beast in the sea. You know what I mean? I'm going to get deep on this now, y'all. And I want y'all to bear with me. You know what I'm saying? But this stuff is all in our face. Listen to this.
From the oceans to sweet black Mother Earth, to fire, Yemaya, and Oye. I asked my ancestors from tribe, to village, to individual, all who have pledged to me. Now I pledge to you, go forth and kill them all.
You see how they told him kill them all? And that's the objective of the beast in Revelation 13. You know, kill anyone who don't worship and persecute anyone who don't worship the image of the beast, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm about to really tap high into this, y'all. See how he's throwing that up? And notice why Michael Blackson is in chains. You know what I'm saying? Because all that represents is the aspect of the Messiah. They want to take his royalty away. Remember, I was already saying this is what this is about. They're going to persecute the saints. You know what I'm saying? But it's not going to last long. You feel me? And I'm about to get deep into this because when you understand the whole aspect, how Michael Blackson is the one that's in the chains, is because the name Black literally comes from the name Kara, which literally don't mean nothing but the Messiah, Kar-El, Kara. You know what I'm saying? The L representing the cane, which is nothing but the iron rod of the Messiah's royalty, and then the Kar representing the bull head, which is nothing but El, aka the divine sacred cow. This is why they got him in the chains. Nothing is by mistake. Pay attention to this. Look at that in the seas, the beast in the sea, and you see the dragon behind him. As it's written about the red dragon, you know what I mean? And notice the beast that's behind him, man. Kill them all. Kill them all. Look how he's throwing up the Masonic pyramid. Everything off. You got they said everything off. And notice how he got his bows. You see that? How he turned him into a skeleton. Because as it's written, remember I was just talking about it. As it's written, which is so deep, the skeleton represents nothing but the land of Golgotha, the site of the crucifixion of the Messiah. Hence the whole aspect, the dry bones, the decaying bones, the land of the skull, the valley of dry bones, you know what I'm saying? And I'm doing this about to take it deep because notice he got his bowels in his hands because that represents nothing but the depths, you know what I mean? When you understand the bowels, you know, the colon is like where death is put to cleanse out the body, cleanse the, when you know what I mean? Your colons is basically what is used to basically keep waste out the body. That's where all the aspect of all the decaying and dead matter goes. Hence why they said Black Panther, a.k.a. Chadwick Boseman, dies from colon cancer. And then you got Kobe Bryant, they say dies out of a helicopter crash. Remember how he was the Black Mamba. And when you understand the aspect of this divine serpent, what is it representing? Nothing but the Messiah going into the bowels of the earth for 3 days and resurrecting. You know what I'm saying? And ascending to heaven, man. That's why they said that Chadwick died of colon cancer and your boy Kobe dies out of a helicopter crash because that represents the aspect of descending and regenerating. You know what I mean? Because Kobe was called the Black Mamba snake, and Moses literally raised up the serpent on the pole to basically show to the people that they'll be able to resurrect and they'll be able to be reborn, representing nothing but the Messiah. So Kobe, that whole thing about him, basically he descended into the bowels of the earth and then he regenerates and comes into full form. That's why the Lakers had to win the championship. Hint the Lake of Fire, aka Lakers versus Miami Heat. You know what I mean? Representing nothing but basically making Satan, you know, their God, man, and giving him full power. And that's why on his song too, Busta Rhymes, he had said heavy metal like Metallica, now witness the massacre. You know what I mean? Because when you understand that aspect, The Metallica is nothing but heavy metal, you know? And that's why, you know, when you understand Daniel 2:4-3 as it's written, and whereas thou sawest iron mixed with clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they should not cleave one to another, because iron and clay can't mix, so the kingdom will fall apart. Because that's basically saying flesh, wicked and righteous can't stand together. You got to choose a side. That's all it's basically saying. But notice how he said that heavy metal like Metallica not witnessed the massacre. Somebody should have told them never to come after you. He's basically talking about don't come after the Antichrist because you're going to be destroyed trying to stop it. He said feed the planet to cook up. International trafficker, basically leading everybody into destruction. They rather the Most High destroy this world than for them to than the Most High to save the people. Like, remember during the time of Noah, what did the Most High say? He wanted to destroy the world and he regretted making mankind, but he found grace in Noah found grace in his eyes, so therefore he repented unto himself the evils that he was going to do unto the people, or unto no, you know, the whole. Basically, that happened during the time too with when he'll always bring the judgments. I'm sorry, when he said that he repented them to himself. When he'll bring the judgments and he'll basically see them trying to change and then humble themselves, therefore he can then tolerate them. But notice how he said, now pull up with the sprinters because all of them are my passengers, because that's basically representing nothing but the new world order, everybody taking part in it. Listen to this right quick.
Many of you know I have an older son named Carrion Franklin. In May, he'll be 33.
You hear that? He said he'll be 33. That's why they had that whole aspect of him arguing with his son. You know how we already know Kirk Franklin's supposed to be involved with the church, and that's why he's basically arguing with his son. You know what I'm saying? And all of that, because all of that represented, he's talking about he's 33. Remember, the Messiah at 33 dies and resurrects. You get what I'm saying? That whole aspect. So when you understand this theme with Kirk Franklin doing that, that was his way of basically trying to say, you know, we as a church, we don't have to be perfect. You remember I just mentioned the whole aspect of Busta Rhymes saying witness the massacre, heavy metal, you know what I mean? Basically the one world order. They rather the Most High destroy everything, you know, misery loves company. So that's why he basically had to do this, to be like, yeah, you know, we don't got to be perfect. We don't got to, you know, we ain't got to strive to be better. We know we going to be this way. You know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Basically being lukewarm, man. That's why him and his son was arguing. Notice he was 33. You know what I'm saying? Because that right there automatically marks all of that. You feel where I'm going with this? They all play a part in trying to lead the world to destruction, man. And it be the small things, you know what I'm saying? But we look over it time and time again, because it all goes back to them trying to do this, preventing the rise of the new kingdom. You know what I'm saying? But I'm actually going to end that right here. I just want to tap onto that because this was a very interesting topic. But I'm going to end it right here. Thank you for watching Hide and Seek TV. Much more is coming. Peace.